Hello, and welcome to Big Yap Energy,
a weekly yap sesh with your new besties.
Join us to yap about everything books, pop culture, motherhood, and everything in between.
Sit back, grab your favorite beverage, and let's chat. Welcome to Big Yap Energy. I'm Kailey.
And I'm Neely, and Kailey and I haven't talked to each other in what feels like 17 years.
100 years.
I think it's been 3 weeks. We had some episodes pre-recorded, and then life happened. End of school happened.
And our weeks of school were different. So like your last week of school and my last week of school were a week apart. So it was like 2 weeks of literally just both of us running around like chickens with our heads cut off.
And I'm just, y'all, I feel like I was telling Andrew last night because it's like school ended. We immediately left on a vacation. We came home. And then like yesterday we had Liam's voice lesson recital and we had a neighborhood block party. And I'm like, I don't feel like we've actually stopped since like March. Like there's been no lull in like, because our trip, like there were parts that were relaxing and I'll get to that. But you know, it's just, you're still on a trip with your kids. Like,
sure.
You're as relaxed as you can be.
Were you with family? Like you weren't by yourself.
We were with Andrew's parents. Yeah, we were with Andrew's parents.
Even if you like love the people you're vacationing with, like you're not in your own space.
That was
you don't
too
have
much.
Like a minute.
Absolutely not.
You're out of routine.
And it was like constant Fox News. Like I don't want to watch any news as much as that,
ever.
Right?
No.
Like I don't ever want to be exposed to political figures in my ear all day long. And it's like it's like too much for me. And so I felt like my anxiety would get really high because anytime I listen to anything about what's going on in the world, I'm just like, and I don't say that in a way where I like put my head in the sand and like pretend like everything is peachy keen, but a way where like I only want that information when I'm like seeking it. And if I'm not seeking that information, I don't want it in my face.
Right. It doesn't need to be all day.
This is why I watch Bravo, right? Because it's not like that. And, but yes, so should we do highs and lows, which might just end up being more of a catch up?
Yes, you go first.
Okay. So my 5-star is that this was the first time we took the kids to like beach and a pool where we didn't have to like be in the water. Like we could be in the water, but I like sat in a chair and read and drank a cocktail and
I love that.
So that was nice. And I mean, it was just nice to like be out of Dallas for a minute. We hadn't really gone out of town since spring break. And I don't know, like that was nice. The kids like pushed luggage in the airport for the first time.
I saw that picture. I was like, you're living the life.
I don't push luggage anymore. Liam was pushing a big piece of luggage and Charlotte wanted to push something. So she pushed my carry-on and I was like, cool, I'm just going to walk. You guys.
Right.
Andrew had the big ones. Also, it's funny because like, I'm sure people who saw us in the airport assumed we were gone for like a month. No, we just cannot help ourselves but overpack.
Well, and here's the thing. I don't know if you guys have like points or like Tony, basically like we both bring a bag for free. So I'm like, I'm not going to shove all my stuff into a carry-on if I can just check a bag for free. And even if I have to pay, I'm still checking a bag. I'm not a carry-on girl.
So,
sorry. Because I can't.
We flew Southwest and it used to be you get 2 checked bags for free. But I have a Southwest card, so I still get 2 checked bags for free. And we only checked 3 bags. So we only had to pay for 1 bag, which was not bad. Because the kids do share a suitcase. And then we had 2 carry-ons. And then they had like their backpacks with like plain stuff. I will say a 1-star. Well, it wasn't my 1-star. So I'll give 2. This 1-star was for sure Liam's. We left our house to go to the airport. And we're like a block from our house. And Liam goes, my tablet's broken. Like he got his tablet out in the car. And he had shoved something else in his backpack and it had cracked the whole screen to where you could like the tablet was like unusable. And Andrew was like, I told you not to put that toy in your back, like told you not to bring it. And mind you, it was a Harry Potter wand. Okay. Like, because God forbid.
Of course it was. Of course.
Like God forbid we travel without the Harry Potter wand. And then I don't know, I think my other 1-star was just like, that was like a lot of family time. And here's like, I tell Andrew all the time, like, my parents live here. So, like, he's never really had to be around my parents for like super long
Constantly.
time. And
Right.
like 5 days with someone else's parents is a lot.
It's a lot.
Like,
It's a lot. It's a lot.
couldn't, like, and I tell you, I mean, I had like no alone time. I went for a walk every day for like an hour and it was 97% humidity and it was still better for
You're
me
like,
to
I don't
just be
care.
out on that walk. I mean, like there was a point where I had to take off my like tank top and just walk in my sports bra and shorts because I was like dripping sweat. And I was like, I don't care. None of these people are going to see me.
Okay,
And I
wait.
mean, sorry,
No,
go ahead.
no, I'm sorry. I'm still like back to the tablet. So what did he do on? Did he bring his Kindle? Like, thank God he had a Kindle. What did he do
He
on the
did have
plane?
his Kindle, but Andrew had his work phone, so he like just pulled up Netflix on his work phone and let Liam watch that.
Okay,
And then we ordered a new tablet to his parents' house in South Carolina,
as as one
uh,
does.
as one does for their sanity's sake. But honestly, they really weren't on their tablets much on the trip at all. Like even during kind of downtime, they were like, we have a lot of toys there that we've bought and just to keep there.
Yeah,
So like they were doing like magnetiles and they play chess a lot because
that's
as as they do.
as
Um,
children do.
I say that
Cute.
like that's normal. I know that a 6-year-old and 9-year-old like being very chess competitive. I feel like I should get them on some sort of chess team.
I
But
I was in chess club in elementary
I've
school.
I don't know how to
Like, what a
play.
dork.
I like wanted my parents to put me in chess club and they didn't. I don't know how to play it. But
I don't remember how to play. Like, I know one of them like is like an L shape when you have to move it, but like couldn't tell you any
Liam
rules
taught
today.
Charlotte like a year ago. And so
That's so
yeah, I mean
cute.
and then yeah, I mean that was kind of it. Like it was a really good trip. We had fun. I mean, I would say the only other one star is that I thought the last week of school was like I honestly thought that I was gonna commit myself. I was just so tapped out. Like it was a lot. We ended up like our principal ended up resigning
Oh wow.
like at the end of the year that we got a new principal. Like I mean like new for next year. Like she finished out the year
Sure.
and stuff. And so like there was like a lot of drama with that. Also, I
Oh
just
my
sat
gosh.
weird and like I'm worried if I move my hip, it's gonna hurt.
It's gonna
Have you ever
pop,
had that happen?
crack. Oh yeah, when you're
Yeah.
like, oh, this is gonna crack.
Yeah. So if you see
Oh
me
my
just make
gosh.
like a face or gasp, just know
Okay.
that eventually I
It's
am gonna have to
just
move my hip. And
getting old.
it is. I said something the
I
other day and I'm
know.
like, oh, Liam, I'm getting old. And he goes, oh, don't say that. I'm like, I'm not like gonna die. But I mean, eventually. Dark.
So I was
All
like,
right, you
on
go.
that note. Okay, is it my turn?
Mm-hmm.
I have two fives. One is that the pool is finally done. So excited. Yeah.
I know. Was that your picture yesterday?
Yes.
I was
Yeah,
like,
I
where
was
are you?
yes,
Your
that is
backyard,
my
casual.
home, my backyard. So what's today? Today's Sunday. So yesterday was the first day that we were actually able to use it, like as a family. The girls and I got in at like a little bit Friday night or Friday afternoon. They had a half day. We had like a little girlfriend over, so like we kind of got to get in. Like
Mm-hmm.
yesterday was like so nice. My husband got to like everyone got to get in. We just had like a pool day, and I was like, I'm never leaving my house again. So yeah, everyone can come to me. I'm like, all right, pool party, pool party, pool party. So it's just like nice to have it done. And we're very, like I think there are some people that like aren't really like outdoor pool people or like water people or like their kids don't really want to like do that, like fine. But we are very much like a let's be outside by the water family. So I'm excited to like take advantage of that this
I will
summer.
say, I'm not usually a beach person, not because I don't like the water, but because I hate sand. I hate sand in a way that I don't think is normal because once you have gone to it's like it's everywhere. Like you
Yes.
cannot get rid of sand. And this is why we don't have kinetic sand in our house or glitter or any of that shit because it's permanent. But I actually like really enjoyed it this time.
Well, that's good. I'm not,
Um,
like, I don't really love this sounds like psychotic.
I
Like,
love a
I like
pool and
being
I
by
love
the
being
water.
near
Oh,
a lake.
yes.
Say less. I 1000% know exactly what you're saying. I like hearing the water.
I could be like, if there's a pool and then I'm staring at the ocean, like the house we're at has a pool. But here's the thing,
When
like,
we
if you
go
get
to
hot on the
Antigua,
beach,
when we go
Yeah.
to
Well,
Antigua, there's a beach, but there's also like kind of a dock area next to it, right on the water. And we will sit on the dock. Like we will sit in the chairs that are like on the dock because I'm not
yeah.
on the sand, but the sand is right there and the water's right there. And I'm like,
But that water's like clear, right? Like it's like turquoise and like a nice
yeah, it's
white
pretty.
beach. So like my thing is like, we go to like the Outer Banks or like even Virginia Beach and it's like, okay, so let's say you're sitting on the beach, fine, but then you get hot. And then I have to like go into like up to my neck to like cool off. And it's just I know I sound like such a ridiculous person. And some of my friends are like, you don't like the beach? I'm like, no, not when I can have a pool.
No, I'd
I
rather
guess
have
if
a
there's
pool.
right, like if there's no other option,
And
sure, I'll get in the ocean to
we
cool
want to
off.
put a
But like
pool in,
why?
but I just want a cocktail pool. Like I don't want like a lap pool. I want like a decent sized pool where it's like 4 feet and I just want to be able to like chill in the
We
pool.
got
I
okay,
don't
so you
need to
need
like, is that
we
what you
got a
did?
tanning ledge.
That's what I need.
Yes. So like I will just be on the tanning ledge all summer. It's still like 40 feet long. Like it's a good sized pool. But the whole like shallow part is just like the tanning ledge, and then there's like a step, and then it goes from like 3 to 6 feet. So it's like the best of both worlds. So you can
Yes.
like camp out, but I don't have to be like in there splashing around at the deep end. So my other five though is I just this morning pulled the trigger on Megan Maroney tickets. So
That's so fun.
I can't wait. And I saw her last year and she was so great. So I did
Andrew
like
and
a
I are
little, I was
going
like,
to 2 concerts this summer. And so I was like, I can't buy more concert tickets.
these were like end up being a good price. So I'm going to Baltimore, so it's like 3 hours. It's not far. So I'm gonna bring my stepdaughter. I called her this morning. I was like, "Do you want to go scream the bridge to Who Hurt You?" with like
You're
30,000 other
such a
people. So
good stepmom.
she was so excited. So I'm like pumped. Yeah,
That's
so I
so
can't wait. So
fun.
that will be my five next week also. But like I'm still riding the high of like getting the
When is the
tickets and
concert?
Friday night. So it's like in 5 days. Yeah,
See,
can't wait.
my toxic trait is I buy concert tickets for like 10 months in advance. And then
Well, you
I'm
have
like,
to now. These
oh,
weren't like
yeah.
these were like resale. So, but I actually still got like a really good price. But like Gracie Abrams, I'm on her list, and she just was like, "Put your name in for the sign up for next year." So it's March of 2027.
Well, I have a friend who just saw Harry Styles in like Switzerland or wherever
Oh
he is.
wow.
And I have a couple friends taking their daughters, like Liam's friends who have girls, taking their daughters in the fall to like New York for their 10th birthdays. And I'm like,
Cute.
but I want to go. uh,
Yeah. I don't know. I'm like, girl, I don't even know if I'm gonna like your new album. But I mean, if you like her, you like her. I think 6 months is like a reasonable time, but I'm like, this is literally, yeah, 10 months from now. 2027 just sounds wild. So, and I have no real one. I have nothing to complain about. Life is good.
she's like, I have a pool. What can I complain about
I
now?
have a,
Okay, so instead of talking about a book I've read, because oh, we haven't even said our episode is about our bad guys. We are actually going to talk about, since it's kind of the midway point of the year, tomorrow, as of recording, tomorrow is June 1st. As of airing, it's June 2nd. We're a little early for the half year, but we're going to talk about like our favorite books of the year so far, what we've read, and just like give y'all some ideas because people are going on vacations. It's summer. You might need a good pool read. So we figured this would give you some ideas. But instead of talking about that now, I am going to talk about off campus a little because you haven't finished it. But I am going
correct.
to give like a high level
Your
review.
high level thoughts.
So my high level thoughts. As Kailey knows, I watched the entire thing in 24 hours, and I have no shame of that.
Great. I love
I
that.
honestly feel if I hadn't, I probably wouldn't have finished it yet because I had like a pocket of time. I watched it, and then I've had zero pockets of time since.
Right. Now
So
your kids are
uh,
home.
now my kids are home, and that is not appropriate. Andrew put something on recently, and I was like, "You cannot have this on." Oh, it was like Die Hard. I was like, Andrew.
Oh.
And then Andrew like left the room. This is like a notorious thing he'll do during the day. He'll
That's
like put a movie on a Saturday or Sunday and then like go do something. I have no idea where the remote is and I'm just stuck watching this fucking movie. And the
sir.
children come in and Liam's like, this is inappropriate. And I'm like, I know. Anyway, so I really liked it. I wouldn't say it's like, a show I'm going to rewatch over and over again. I think the majority of people who really love it did not read the books. And I say
Okay.
that because
Which is
um,
me.
I will say some of the casting is amazing and some of the casting is interesting. Also, okay, the guy who plays Tucker, who you probably haven't met yet if you've only watched 15 minutes, is on the Pit. And I didn't
Yes.
realize, it was like, okay, so it was like 7 episodes and I'm like, God, like what have I seen him in? And I was like,
Is
he's on
this
the
the
fucking
curly haired
Pit.
guy?
Yes.
Okay, I got the part where they're like the frat boys and they're having the party. Maybe I got longer than 15 minutes, but I didn't get much. But yes, and somebody else is on the Pit too, because I was listening to another podcast and they were like, oh, there's like a crossover. One of the other, I think, girls is on the show, which is a very random, through line of off campus in the Pit. Not necessarily, connecting.
Yeah, all right. I thought the casting of Hannah was perfect. That's exactly like when I was reading the books, kind of what I imagined her looking like. The casting of Garrett is fine. Like it's fine.
Is he
He's
the main
cute.
guy?
Yeah, he's
I
cute. He
can't,
has a really
I
nice
can't, figure,
body.
I can't figure out his hair. Like, are we going? Is it
Yeah,
like
it's a
curly?
hair, right? Okay,
Is
so
it
I think that's my
long?
problem.
Is it like intentional? Is it supposed to be like messy like this? I
Thank
can't
you
I
for
can't
understanding
tell.
that my ick with him is his hair.
Yes. Again, this is from
Are
like
we the
20
same
minutes,
person?
but I was like, and I literally
Like,
said out loud to Audrey and my husband, I was like, what's going on with this hair? And there's like a little curl, and
I
I
don't
was
like
like,
guys with curly hair. I'm not gonna lie. It just does
I
not.
think
And I
it has
think
to
that's
be.
why I'm so disturbed by Tucker's long hair and why okay, also and I get this is an Elle Kennedy problem. Why would she have named 2 of the main guys John? John Logan and John Tucker. That's like and also John Tucker is John Tucker Must Die. And I will never not think of John Tucker Must Die the movie. You've seen that, right?
Yes.
You've
Oh
seen
yeah,
the
that was
movie
like
John
peak.
Tucker Must
Oh,
Die.
he was so beautiful, Jesse Metcalf. Oh,
That was a time period where we really didn't utilize Jesse Metcalf enough. Like he was in a lot, but he wasn't in enough.
he has
And
aged very well, I will say.
he is
If you Google
like
him,
he is like Benjamin
beautiful.
Button. Like what
He's
have you
beautiful.
do you know who else I think this is going to be such an unpopular opinion. So I need everyone to know that I have just been obsessed with Ben Affleck for 30 years. I think Ben Affleck is hot and has been hot. Like this also stems from the fact, as you know, I watched Pearl
Oh,
Harbor last night and I was like, Ben Affleck in Pearl Harbor, my fucking God.
he could
Like,
get it.
Ben Affleck and Josh Hartnett as pilots, I'm like, why was I not into this at 17? This movie is 25 years old, by the way. And I didn't realize it was like 25 years old. Like, I was like, 2001 was like 10 years ago, right? No.
Well, his tattoo is real.
Ben
His
Affleck's?
back tat, yeah.
Yeah. Yes, it is. Ben Affleck is listen. And I'm
He's
convinced that he is still in love with Jennifer Garner. I am convinced she will be the one that got
oh,
away
are you like
forever.
shipping them forever?
They're a couple. She is fully with someone else, by the way, and he has been engaged to J-Lo again. Or no, they got married, right? Did they get
No,
married?
I thought they called it off. Or aren't they divorcing?
I think they got married and then got divorced.
I think they're not together right now,
No, but
right?
like, did they just get engaged or did they get married too?
Let's look. Wait.
He just can't not date someone named Jennifer, can he? He's just like, I cannot be bothered to learn someone else's name. Everyone is Jennifer.
Okay, they
And
are no longer married, but they did get married. They got married in 2022, and they did finalize their divorce in January 2025. He married them once, or he married her once,
Which Jennifer? Both Jennifers?
Lopez. But they were engaged, right? Who'd she have the pink ring with? Remember that iconic pink ring?
Was that who she married? What's the fuck's his name?
That was Ben Affleck. Oh, I mean, again, this was like peak millennial, like every girl. Okay, 2002. Yeah, a pink diamond, Harry Winston. Like, that was iconic.
Was that Mark Anthony or was that also Ben Affleck?
No, that was Ben
Did
Affleck.
Ben Affleck give her two different rings? Wow, we've gotten way off topic here. But do you think she kept both? Like, do you think Jennifer Lopez
Um,
just has like a box of engagement rings from all the husbands and fiancés?
I would keep him. She doesn't need the money. Oh yeah, okay, yes, he did give her two different ones.
But taste changed, 2002 to 2000. Like
Oh
I have
wow,
an
the second time,
extremely,
yeah.
is it better?
Go ahead. No, the second time it was a green diamond. I want to see the second one. Sorry,
This is
I know.
now
Go.
a Jennifer Lopez, this is now a Jennifer Lopez podcast.
Oh, I like
That's
the
such
other one
a,
better.
the
Okay,
Jennifer
I'm
Lopez
done.
podcast would be so niche. Her best movie was Selena, and I will die on that hill. Uh,
I was gonna say, you know what I was gonna say? I was like,
what?
Made in Manhattan. Again, it's like the millennial and me, her and Ralph Fiennes or Fiends. Sorry. Anyways, not sure how we
Um,
got on this topic.
the deal. I'm like, because I went to John Tucker guy. It was a journey. The guy who plays Dean is the hottest guy on that show, and the girl who plays Allie is my favorite character on that show. And I'm really happy that next season is their story. Not a spoiler; it's all over the
Oh,
internet.
he's super hot. Yes, the blonde.
And I don't even like blondes. Blonde guys don't do it for me ever,
He has major
ever.
fuckboy energy, but like I'm here for it.
Listen, he refers to himself at one point as a roller coaster. He's like, everybody wants a ride. And I'm like, I do. And then I had to Google and make sure I wasn't committing some sort of crime by thinking that. But he's engaged in real life, and lucky her. All right, what have you been reading?
What have I been reading? Right now I'm actually reading Love Overboard by Candy Steiner.
I
And it
love
came out.
her. She's a
Okay,
lovely human, by the way. Lovely.
really? Okay. This is cute. It's I would say
Does
like
it
not
take
super
place
heavy
on
on
a
a
cruise ship?
yes, but like a luxury cruise ship, not like a carnival. Like this is where very, very, very rich people rent
She's
a
like,
yacht,
not a carnival. It's more like
not
below
a carnival
deck.
cruise. No, yes. So it's basically like that, which I've never watched, but like, oh my gosh, I love any story that gives me the insight into like being extremely, extremely, extremely wealthy. And the way they prepare this yacht, I had no idea really like what goes into it and like the resources and
Oh, I
like the
popped my hip.
tips.
I survived.
Uh, okay, proud of you.
Have you never
It's super
watched Below
cute.
Deck?
No, I'm really not like a
If
reality
you
TV.
Okay, but if you liked this book, you would love Below Deck. Andrew and I are
Okay.
rewatching Below Deck right now, like all the seasons. We need to have a dinner show. I don't know if other people are like this, but we have to have a show that we watch while we eat
Oh,
dinner,
because you
because we
guys
don't eat
eat
with our
dinner later,
kids.
right?
Yeah, our
Yeah,
kids eat super early, so we eat after they go to bed. But like we have to have what we call a dinner show, and Below Deck has been
sure.
our dinner show. It was Survivor for a while, and now it is Below Deck. So I
Love.
need to know,
Okay.
very random, if you're listening to this right now, will you DM us and let us know if you and your significant other have a dinner show? Because I need to know that this is something people do. I'm about to poll the internet on this.
Okay, do it.
Um, okay, so that book is good.
It's cute. Yeah, yeah. I'm liking it. I'm trying to finish it today because it's the last day in May. I don't know if that's gonna happen. We can do recent reads at like later. This is just what I'm reading right now.
Okay. All right. Well, should we get into our main topic, our books of the year thus far?
Let's do it.
All right. You want to start, or do you want me to start?
I can start because I think I maybe have one or two more.
Okay.
But for context, like I went through and I counted. I've already read 61 books
I can't
this
believe
year.
you've read 61 books this year.
But I also, again, you like I don't really watch TV, and I don't mean that. And like, listen, if you like watch TV, like that's great. I just at
Also,
the end of the night,
I have taken up needle pointing. So, that is
Mhm.
also, I'm trying to do more hobbies that don't involve a screen.
That's great.
So,
I
I might need to become an audiobook person a little more because of this, so I can listen while I needlepoint.
oh, that's smart. I'll
We'll
sometimes
see.
do it if I'm walking the dog. Like I will do audiobooks, or like we live like not in town, quote unquote, like in town. So we're like I've got like a 20-minute drive. So like I will knock out some books that way. But I really just like reading at night. Like I'm not looking at my phone. I'm like I'm not. It just kind of like calms me down. So out of those 61, like not all of these are gonna make my top 10 of the year, but I think a few will. So I just went through and was like, these are the ones I've enjoyed the most. I actually just finished this. It's called The Girls in the Dark by Avery Bishop. It is
Is it
dark as
scary?
shit. Yeah, you would
No,
not like
thank
it.
you.
Okay, so basically it's about two twin girls. They get abducted. Okay, so they're twin sisters and they're
Y'all
15, they get
can't see my
abducted.
face, but I'm making a
Neely's
face.
like, no, I just like love a good thriller. So basically it says the 20th anniversary of our abduction brings a swirling sense of dread. When I find a black rose on the passenger seat of my car, it feels like a warning. And not long after, a figure with a face so like my own breaks into my house. My sister. I tell myself it can't be true. Her body was never found. I'm sure she died in that room at the hands of our abductor. What if I'm wrong and she's back for revenge? And then he goes, for years, I've kept a secret about what really happened the night I escaped. As the threat grows, I start to feel for my life. It's clear someone wants the truth to come to light, but if it does, will it destroy everything? Oh my god, it was so good. So it's not out. It like got indie published already, but I think it's getting trad published in 2027. So like if you can find a copy, it's called The Girls in the Dark by Avery Bishop. I mean, it's dark. Again, like these twin girls get abducted. So you are like there's flashbacks of that. But again, you're like, what happened? And it's wild. Only one makes it out. So it's wild. I couldn't
All
put it down.
right.
I was like, Tony's like, what are you reading? I was like, these girls got abducted. Like, I was like, it's not a sexy book. Like, these girls got abducted. He's
Okay.
like, what? What are you
I
doing? And I was like,
just,
it's fine.
as an aside, I can't read dark stuff because I don't like being scared. And Andrew and I watched a documentary recently, and it wasn't that it was scary, but it was just so disturbing that I haven't been able to stop thinking about that. It's that one, The Crash on Netflix, about that
Oh,
girl who drove 100 miles an hour into a wall with her boyfriend and his friend in the car and killed them both.
oh my God. I have not even heard of that.
Anyway, true story, happened a couple years ago, but I've been like very disturbed since. So even hearing about a thriller, I'm like, okay, so my first book, by the way, none of mine are in any sort of like order of what I liked most or anything,
Okay.
just an aside. So my first one is Yesteryear, which we both loved. So it says Natalie lives a traditional lifestyle. Her charming farmhouse is rustic. Her husband is a handsome cowboy. Her 6 children, each more delightful than the last. So what if there are nannies and producers behind the scenes? Her kitchen hiding industrial gray fridges and ovens. Her husband, the Republican equivalent of a Kennedy. What Natalie's followers, all 8 million of them, don't know won't hurt them. And the angry women, the privileged Ivy League coastal elite haters who call her an anti-feminist iconoclast. Yeah, okay, I can't read. They're sick with jealousy because Natalie isn't just simply living the good life, she's living the ideal. And then it's until one morning she wakes up in a life that isn't hers. Her home, her husband, her children, they're familiar, but something's off. Her kitchen warmed by a sputtering fire rather than electricity. Her children are dirty and strange. Her soft-handed husband is suddenly a competent farmer. Just yesterday, Natalie was curating photos of homemade jam for Instagram, and now she's expected to haul firewood, hand wash clothes until her fingers bleed, and has become the unwitting star of a brutal reality show. Could it be time travel? Could she be tested by God? Anyway, read it, loved it, couldn't put it down,
Agreed.
was so greatly disturbed by the ending. And when people are like, I read it and it was one of those things where like, I loved it. And I'm like, did I? Did I
Isn't
love
it
it? Or just
wild?
can I like, I'm still not sure how I even feel about it. Um, but anyway, I guess this is kind of a spoiler. If you haven't read it, skip like 2 minutes. But like she has a psychotic break, basically.
Right.
And she,
I I did
yeah.
not see that coming. This
Oh,
is
I
also
didn't
on my
either.
list. I thought it was like so propulsive, so good. I could not figure out what was going on. I was like, is she really on a reality show? Like, I couldn't figure out the kids. Here's the thing. I thought it was very clever. And I know people are like, oh, Nat, like people hate this book and like hate Natalie. And I'm like, I think you'd be able to separate the two, but like I thought I
It
just thought it was
is a
like so
book
clever.
where people, I feel like this is I haven't seen as much like discord as far as like people either absolutely loved it or absolutely hated it in a really long time about a book. Because I feel like a lot of people that I follow are obviously in the influencer space. And I feel like a lot of influencers have like a huge problem with this book. I don't. One, because like that's not the kind of influencing I do. Like I'm like, I don't pretend to have a life that I don't have. And part of me wonders if influencers who don't like it feel a little
Scene. Like it's a little too
seen.
like on the nose.
A little too on the nose. And like maybe just, it's like, it gives me the same category of people, not influencers, who get on the internet and they're like, I love summer. I love having my kids home all day, every day. I don't understand how people want their kids to go back to school. I'm like, can you not? Like,
Right.
wanting your kids to be in school or camp doesn't make you a bad parent. And it like gives that kind of like, I can't
Like,
stand this book because blah, blah. Like, it's just, it's too, like, calm down, Karen. Like, anyway.
yes, I agree. And I think, there's so many aspects of it. God, we could have like a whole episode on like, the children of it all and like wanting her children to be on it. And I think that's like, a sticky space. And we're not here to debate like whether you should put your children on the internet. I know how you feel about this.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'm not
you know,
anti for other people. It would, and I think that is one of those situations, putting your children on the internet. Like, it's gonna be like, I was watching a girl I like who doesn't have kids yet, and someone was like, "Oh, would you put your kids on the internet?" She was like, "I don't know. Like, I can't make that call right now." And I do think that it's a decision. And I've seen people who have put their kids on the internet and then stop and are like, you know what? Like, I'm not going to do it anymore. And I definitely like. It was never something I considered. Like, I never wanted to. So I just didn't. And yeah.
yeah, you wonder like how the kids feel. And there's some people I followed probably for a good 10, 12 years that like I've seen their girls like grow up and I'm like, wow, now you have teenagers. And sometimes they'll like post these pictures and I'm like, are your girl like they don't look happy to be there? But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But like that's a teenager. Like sometimes they're like, oh, don't take a picture of me because I have like braces
But
on
it's
and I don't want
also
pictures.
like,
Like,
if you have like multiple kids, like if you favor one, like sometimes I will post more stuff about Charlotte and I'm like, it's because she's with me more. She's home more. Liam's older. He's out doing stuff with his friends now. Like,
right.
he's also like getting into that like pre-tween state. Like, it's a totally different thing. Like,
Yeah. It's yeah.
I,
And the one like the last thing I'll say about the book because I could not figure this out. When she thought she was pregnant and she's like, I
mm-hmm.
haven't had my period, like I think I'm pregnant. I thought it was like the way she explained the way Cara Claire Burke, like there were all these things that you couldn't explain, and then like how she explained, like I thought that was genius. They're like, dude, you're in menopause. You're like, how old was she? 50 something? And she just like didn't realize she literally did not know that she didn't have her period anymore. She was menopausal and she thought she was pregnant. And
Part
like
of me
the
wondered
kids
for a
and
second that I really wondered because like when I was trying to figure out what was going on, I was like, is she in like a postpartum psychosis? Because you've seen like, I mean, that is a thing that
yeah,
happens. Like,
yeah.
another creator that I follow, she wrote a, I'll have to send it to you. She had a post, she's been very like, she talks about it on her page, and she wrote an article for Glamour about the postpartum psychosis she went to that like landed her in a hospital for like 5 weeks essentially.
Wow.
And yeah, and I mean like this is a thing that happens.
Yeah.
Like I forget her name, but like there's a woman in Texas who's like in prison for the rest of her lives because in a
She killed
postpartum
her.
psychosis, she drowned all her kids. Like, and like, yes, it's horrible and it's sad, but it's also like, I'm not saying like those people shouldn't have consequences by any stretch. What I'm saying is like, you are not there. Like,
No.
and so for a while I did wonder, and this was earlier, and then I changed my mind. I wondered if she was like in a postpartum psychosis.
Okay, wait, that's a really funny segue. Can I segue to our next book? Because
Yes.
that kind of is like the perfect. Okay, so I read Hollow Bones by Jodi Picoult, and that's not coming out until September 15th. She can be a little hit or miss for me sometimes depending on her topics, but I thought this was outstanding. I did not realize, and it didn't
All of
ruin the
her
book for me,
books
but
are fucking depressing as shit. I like, if you want to cry and feel like absolute garbage, her books are beautifully written. Like, she's a phenomenal writer, but they are, the only book of her I've read is My Sister's Keeper, and I was like, I'm good.
oh, okay. So actually, this is funny. So this is like, I wouldn't say it's the sequel to My Sister's Keeper, but I did not realize this follows the brother and actually the sister several years later from My Sister's
Oh,
Keeper.
oh, well,
And they
then I would
don't say
watch
that in the
that.
synopsis. And again, I did not know this until after I had finished the book, and I still really liked the book, but I was like, oh man, I wish I had known that. But anyways, okay, let me read you the synopsis because this one is wild.
All right, maybe
On
I will read
September,
it.
yeah, okay, so on September 11th, 2001, When Molly
Sure.
Fitzgerald was only 2 months old, her mother went to an appointment at the World Trade Center and never came home. Her father and the stepmother who raised her couldn't love her more, but she still grew up with a healthy dread of disasters. Now an adult, she runs the Rhode Island Department for Emergency Preparedness, mapping out ways to save lives during storms, epidemics, and airplane crashes. She and her husband, Jesse, a police polygraph expert with his own history of crisis, have found a love that is a solace in a dangerous world. But then the unexpected upends their new marriage, leading them both to question everything they thought they knew. Moving
So
between
that's
past
the
and
brother.
present.
This is the wife
Yeah.
of the brother. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, moving between past and present, Hollow Bones is an epic story of the lies we tell ourselves as we write the narrative of our lives, the plans we design to protect ourselves at the worst moments, and the ties that bind mothers and daughters. It was so good. You should try to get a copy. I mean, the
Is it,
mom
when does
disappears
it
on
come out?
September 15th.
That's so long. Hold on.
I
Let
know.
me,
So,
is it
like, the
on
mom
NetGalley?
disappears. Yes, the mom disappears on September 11th. And, the daughter grows up thinking, like, she died in the World Trade Center.
Jeez.
And things happen from there. It was so good. And again, I mean, you're a mom of a daughter. Like, mother-daughter stories just hit me differently. They just do.
I just requested it. TBD.
And it's one of those stories where it's like,
Don't you
what
wish you
would
could
you
let
do?
people borrow your Kindle books? Why do we not live in a
Right?
world where you can let people borrow Kindle books? You can let people borrow physical books. Like, I don't
I know.
understand why we
Well,
haven't figured out a way yet.
if you're in the same family on Amazon and you buy the book, you can. But yeah. But I can send you the publicist's name. So if you get if you don't hear anything, let me know.
Okay. Okay.
You're up.
My next book is Strangers by Belle Verdon, which as of now is the best book I've read this year. Loved every single second of that book. I know there's been some discourse the last few weeks. I don't know if you've seen it about how
I
her
wanted
husband
to
came out
ask
and was
you.
like lies. And here's the thing. I don't care if it ended up that the whole fucking book was fake. It was a great read, okay? Like, so I am like unbothered by stuff like that where like I don't think it's so much that she lied. I think she exaggerated the financial woes a little bit. And if you follow her on Instagram, she's clearly doing fine. Like, this isn't a woman who is destitute. This isn't like her kids are all like her two daughters. One just graduated high school, is going to Vanderbilt. Her other daughter goes to Vanderbilt. Like they're
Right, and I
clearly
think that's what
okay,
people.
guys.
So do you? I mean, do you have thoughts on the fact that she was like, oh, I was at risk of losing everything, but then the financials came out and they're like, she was fine. Do you?
Um,
I don't know. I don't have
I
like a leg to stand on.
I don't really care, I guess. Like, I think because I enjoyed the story and I this is going to sound really horrible. I like to be entertained, and it was a very entertaining book in that way. And I think it goes back to, I don't know if you remember this. This guy James Fry a bajillion years ago wrote a book called A Million Little Pieces. Oprah
Yes.
was the whole thing.
Yeah, it was
And
huge.
it came out that none of it was true, okay?
Right.
And people were freaking out, and I'm like, okay, but like, were you entertained by the book? I read the book when it came out. I'm like,
Yeah.
and so it's that kind of the same thing for me where like I know this isn't like quite to that level, but I'm like, it was an entertaining book. Who gives a shit? Like,
Well, I feel like the problem more again, like label is fiction. I was also entertained. I think now, like in hindsight, looking back, am I like, is this a little bit like tone deaf of you being like extremely rich and being like, I was so like, it's like, honey, you were gonna be fine. But I'm
mm-hmm.
sure in the moment there was like lots of emotions and feelings. And again, I was like really entertained. It's interesting the discourse, and I did see some things that were like, it shouldn't matter, like the financials of it all. Like, she's hopefully teaching a lot of women to be like more aware of their financial situations and like ask those questions and be like a part of the conversation and like advocate for themselves, which yes, I think if that's like helping women do that,
Oh,
great.
by the way, I didn't read the synopsis. So if you somehow have
I'm
no
like,
idea, I'm going to read it, the synopsis. But if you somehow have been living in a world where you haven't heard of this book, which like I said it to somebody the other day, and truly they were like, I have no idea what you're talking about. So I'm pulling it up right now. It says, in March 2020, Belle Burden was safe and secure with her family at their house on Martha's Vineyard, navigating the early days of the pandemic. Then, with no warning explanation, her husband of 20 years announced he was leaving her. Overnight, her caring, steady partner became a man she hardly recognized. He exited his life with her like an actor shrugging off a costume. In Strangers, Burden revisits her marriage, searching for clues that her husband was not who she always thought he was. She examines her relationship through a new lens. She reckons with her own family history, the lessons that she intuit. Why can I not read today, guys? All right. Essentially, happy family. Pandemic hits. She gets a phone call from a woman's husband. This happens in like the first 2 pages. I'm not spoiling it. Who's like, your husband's having an affair with my wife. Also, my wife had just tried to kill herself. And it's like, I mean, from
And then
jump,
he's like,
it is
I'm
like,
out, bye. You can have
and
the kids.
he's like, I don't want the kids. I like don't want our life. So I'm gonna bounce. Then anytime it's like she walks into a room, she's like, "Oh, hi, Susie. By the way, my husband just left me for another one." Like she cannot help herself.
To everybody, it's so awkward.
She's like getting her nails done. She's like picking up the mail. I mean, sees a gardener. She's like, "Let me tell you about my psychotic husband," which like I can't say that in the same situation I wouldn't do that. Like, also, this book should just be like a prerequisite for marriage that says get a prenup and don't touch it.
And that's like, girl, like I can only have so much sympathy for you. And again,
what bothers me is that she fucked up the prenup and she's a lawyer. Like, you knew better. You knew better.
And the fact that, and no one in her family was like, absolutely not. And I guess, and last thing, like somebody said this and I was like, this is kind of smart. Like the thing with the key to the private island that he like bought her. I'm like, you had no idea how wealthy you were. Like this, what did they say? It was like $300,000 or $400,000, like this private island or like the key to like the private beach. I'm like, you at no point.
Speaking of reading stuff about people with just stupid money. Just stupid money.
Right. So
one time, one of my friends who was like 10 years older than me, I'd known her my whole life. I remember her, I wasn't married yet. Like I hadn't even met Andrew. And I remember her telling me, she's like, her husband, she was like, we have a rule. What's yours is mine and what's mine is mine. And I was like, okay. So like essentially like whatever she makes is hers, whatever he makes is also hers. And I was like, solid rule.
If it works for you, do it.
If it works for you, work it. All right. What's your next book?
Like, again, yeah, just like be aware, have the conversation. My next book is Beneath by Ariel Sullivan. So this is like romantasy. This is the prequel to the book Conformed, which is more like dystopian. I liked Conformed. I didn't love it. I loved Beneath, obviously, because it's on my list. So, this is like kind of a long, basically, the world has like ended, and these people are living in like an underground city in like tunnels, which is so claustrophobic. And then she is working as like a nurse and like stuff, but then they of course recruit her to like the Force, which is the elite team of soldiers. They're trying to get like a mission to like the surface. So she's like thrust into the training. Obviously her like commander's so hot and like, you know, there's like a will they, won't they. But it's like the fate of the remaining humankind depends on their success or failure. Underneath the surface, secrets and deceptions run as rampant as illness, and not everyone will survive the rise of a power more terrifying than anything they've ever known.
Goodness.
It was so good. And you know what? Again, I think you would like this more because there's no fairies. There's no, like, magic.
I'm not anti-fairy.
Listen, we love a bat boy. If you know, you know. But this is something where it's more, like, dystopian, where, again, there's no magic. There's no fairies or creatures that are, like, mythical. So this could really be, like, our world. Everyone's, like, in an underground bunker because the world has ended.
Have you heard of the show Paradise on Hulu with Sterling K. Brown?
That was Sterling K. Brown, right?
Yeah,
and James
which,
Marsden.
like, listen, you tell me Sterling K. Brown's and something, and I'm like, I don't even care what it's about. Did you watch This Is Us? Were you a This Is Us person?
Yes, I don't think I finished it because it got kind of, like, sad and depressing. I felt like we were going around in circles a lot.
Sad and depressing. It started sad and depressing.
I know, but, like, it just, I don't know if we finished it. We watched the first few seasons, and then I was kind of like, maybe we did finish it. I don't remember.
I love Sterling K. Brown. I love him. I love him. I love him and everything he's in. And you know what I discovered the other day during a random deep dive, if you will, of Sterling K. Brown? That him and his wife met as freshmen in college at Stanford, and they both graduated from Stanford and both got their masters at NYU. They're like real smart. They're like real
Okay.
fucking smart. They went to fucking Stanford. Do you know how hard it is? It's like harder to get into Stanford than like Yale.
Did not know that.
Anyway, so not only is Sterling K. Brown a great actor and seems like a really like good human person, he's also really smart.
He seems very smart. Like if I would wager that bet. Okay, what is your next one?
My next one was a reread because I had to mentally and emotionally prepare myself for every year after. So I reread Every Summer After, which I loved when I read it, and I loved it even more this time. And I am going to read a brief synopsis, even though
I feel like you could
not
just like,
one
don't you have this
thing
memorized at
you
this
would
point?
think. But I feel like when I try to explain a book without an actual synopsis, I just ramble. Okay, it says you can never go home again. And Persephone Fraser, ever since she made the biggest mistake of her life a decade ago, that has felt too true. Instead of glittering summers on the lakeshore of her childhood, she spends them in a stylish apartment in the city, going out with friends and keeping everyone at a safe distance from her heart until she receives the call that sends her racing back to Barry's Bay and into the orbit of Sam Florek, the man she never thought she'd have to live without. For 6 summers, through hazy afternoons at the water and warm summer nights, working in his family's restaurant and curling up together with books, medical textbooks for him, and work in progress horror stories for her, Percy and Sam had been inseparable. Eventually, that friendship turned into something breathtakingly more before it fell spectacularly apart. Okay. I
Okay, can
watched
you
the.
refresh my memory? Is this the one with the brother is Sam and she
Yes.
like spoiler
Yes.
alert? Okay,
Yes.
so this is
Yes.
the two original ones.
Yes.
Like, okay, because the Charlie or wait, Charlie gets his
And
book
Charlie.
later.
Yes, yes. And I loved that book too. I read that one last summer
Same.
and it was wonderful.
Okay.
The only book of hers I didn't like was Meet Me at the Lake, which I thought was actual trash.
Is it the one where he has
But
a cardigan? I hate.
they like
They're in
were
like the city,
together
and he's
in
like,
like New York and he like leaves and then she's like fixing up a family's like B&B and he comes back.
yeah, I did not like that one.
It was not good, guys. It was not good. All of her other books have been good though. Anyway, I love this book so much. I forgot how like emotionally charged it is. I just can't wait for the show. I was telling Kailey I've watched the trailer for the show about 52 times.
I feel like I'm gonna have to give you your own episode on this series because I
Don't worry.
fear.
Thank you, by the way. Can we just appreciate the fact that Amazon, for the first season of any of their shows, drops all episodes at once?
Thank you, Amazon.
Thank you, Amazon, for
So,
knowing that I don't have patience.
well, jumping on the Carly Fortune train, my next book for this year is Our Perfect Storm. Did you read that yet?
Yes, I haven't finished it
Okay,
though.
I really loved it. I'm not gonna. This is 5 paragraphs long on Goodreads, but basically, Frankie and George are best friends. Frankie is the girl, not to get confused. I hate when they kind of like do that. But anyhow, Frankie's a girl. George is her male best friend. Frankie's about to get married, but on the eve of her wedding, this is not a spoiler. It's like the second page of the book. Her
Literally.
fiance's like he dips out, and she, of course, is like super depressed. And then George, her male best friend, is like, "Let's go on your honeymoon, like to Tofino," which I did not know where that was. I had to like look it up. It's this like beautiful, like off the coast of, I think it's like the west coast of British Columbia. It's like in Canada, but it's like luxurious, like almost like
They're all in
rainforesty,
Canada.
tropical. Yes, I was like Tofino, Italy. Like, guys, my geography is so bad. I'm sorry, it's embarrassing. I did not know where that was. I've been to Canada once, but I was like, I need to go to this place. It sounds fantastic. I really like this. Anyways, I think I said they were on her honeymoon, so you can guess what happens. It was great. I really, really liked it.
I mean, okay. This is like if you know me, you know that childhood friends to didn't talk for a while to lovers is like my favorite trope. So both of the Carly Fortune really like hits with that every single time. I just love her. All right, let's both talk about this next one.
Okay.
Let's talk about Into the Blue.
Okay, I don't have a ton to say, but I feel like we've talked about it, but basically it's Noah and AJ, I think, are like childhood friends. They meet as teenagers. But something like Noah leaves basically without any reason and breaks AJ's heart. And then over the years, it's a lot of like coming back together. Will they, won't they? Why can't they be together? Um, you do find out. And it's like, will fate bring them back together or keep them apart? I love this so, so much. We are interviewing Emma Brody in August.
Hmm.
So that will be so fun. I love her. I loved her last book, Songs in Ursa Major. I'm not like a theater kid, not an improv kid, so that was a little out of my comfort zone. But I think even if you're not into that necessarily, you would still love this. Like just like the yearning and the way she like writes these two. I loved it.
I
What
love
do you think?
yearning. I don't feel like we as a society appreciate yearning nearly enough. I want everyone to yearn. I There's just nothing better. I want to like kick my feet and like feel the feelings.
Right. But like don't make it too easy on me. Like there needs to be the yearning of like we
Right,
need
but
a
I
little
want
bit of like conflict keeping them apart or something that's not just like, oh,
but
we love each other.
just a little. I don't like too much conflict.
Yeah, you really just want like happily ever after, like immediately.
I
I'm
really
like, if you have
do.
to take a journey to get there, I will allow it. Um, I'll give this like a brief mention before my next one. I my end of the year list. I'd love to hear if you're similar, Neely. When I do like my 2026 best books of the year, I am only including books that were published this year.
I feel like for the most part, yes. Like I wouldn't include Every Summer After because the first time I read it was not this year. Like I wouldn't
Right.
include a reread, but if I was reading a book,
Like a backlist
no,
book.
I guess if I was reading a book I just hadn't read, like I read a lot of Catherine Sinter at once. Um,
Sure.
and I read a lot of Ashley Poston at once. And so, and I think I did that with Tessa Bailey too. Like I feel like I've read like if I've like discovered an author I didn't know about and then read like a bunch of their books. Um, but I also try really hard to not have the same author on a list more than once.
Agreed. I
Like
only
it's not
do like front list, like books that were published in that year. And I know some people do like, hey, this was published in 2018, but I read it this year. It still counts. My point of this was that I'm putting ACOTAR like on this list for the episode. I read the first four. One and two were like making this list obsessed. I feel like we've what do you need to say about ACOTAR? But like none of these are going on my best of the year because they were not
yeah.
published this year.
You've really how many ACOTAR books have been published? 5?
Five.
And then
Six is
there's
coming out in
one coming.
October. Yep, in October, and then there's one set for January. We don't know anything about them. And as a new like fan to the Mossverse, I am very green. So like from what I've seen, we don't know anything. There's speculation about whose books this will be. I don't feel confident in like speaking to that, but yeah, they're not like gonna make my list. So, but that was the caveat to that. The book on my list is actually Dolly All the Time. Did you read this yet?
No, but
Oh, because I
I
texted
have it.
you.
And she was just here and I couldn't go.
She's like a gem. I know you guys have had her on. I got to
I
interview
want to have her
her
on
for She
again.
Reads.
She is just a delightful human. I will say, I have interviewed, and I know you have too. Collectively, we've interviewed a lot of authors, and I can probably only think of a couple that like I didn't just love. Like almost every author that I have talked to, I have just like loved.
Yeah,
Loved. Um, she was
she's
a
so great.
delight.
And I would love to talk to her because this book, okay, I've loved Nora Goes Off Script is probably like one of my favorite romances of all time. I loved it. The next one I didn't really like. The one about the guy with like the skateboarder, he was okay. I loved this one so, so, so much. Probably like, tied with Nora, if not like a very close second.
I
And
really
I
love
texted you, I
Nora
was
Goes
like,
Off Script.
which was just like perfection. But I guess I would tell her, like, if we had her on, I'd be like, Annabelle, this book felt like the words just flew out of your fingertips effortlessly. Like, this
Hmm.
book, start to finish, was like a masterclass in writing romance. it seemed like she had a lot of fun with this book, and I devoured it.
It was so good.
So I need you to like bump up your list.
All right. Was that? No, I think I have one more, right?
Okay, yeah, and land the plane. Finish this out. I'm done.
Oh gosh. Oh, duh. The Love Liability by Diana Elliott Graham. So she sent me a copy of it, and so I read it kind of early. But let me pull it up, guys. I'm sorry. I'm so slow today. If you haven't read any of her books, she wrote like When We Were, Six Morning Kisses.
Is this her new one coming out?
Yes. Okay. So it says.
Okay, I really want to read this.
So all it says on Goodreads is, it doesn't say anything about the book, I don't think. Okay, hold on. Guys, I'm not good with synopsises. All right. I don't want to spoil that. I feel like if I give a synopsis, it's going to spoil it. I might have to have you go while I figure out what book I'm going to talk about. Oh, wait. No, I know what we can talk about. We can talk about Fever Dream because we just had Elsie on.
Did you? I
read Fever Dream on Mufflight. Okay. So, guys, we just had Elsie Silver on, who I'm obsessed with as a human person, and I want to be her best friend. But it says, professional bull rider Emmett Bush is not looking for love. He's looking for a paycheck to save his family's farm from bankruptcy. So when he agrees to be the leading man on a hot new reality dating show, Romance Ranch, I think Farmer's Got a Wife, guys. He's already decided it's one big performance until Julia Silva walks onto his property. Smart, snarky, beautiful, and off limits in more ways than one. As the location consultant on set and little sister of his most bitter professional rival, she's the last woman who should pique his interest. Julia has been warned about Emmett. She knows better than to fall for any of his cocky swagger, broad shoulders, or smoldering good looks. Plus, she's sworn off relationships. But as Julia and Emmett work together, mutual distaste grows into an unexpected connection and then something more. I'm sure you can guess what happens. It is enemies to lovers. It is like kind of a little bit of workplace romance. It is so good.
I love this one.
I loved it. I just thought it was very kick your feet. Like there's just something about an Elsie Silver book that just hits. And I had not read a cowboy-ish romance in a while. Like I had not read one of those. And like, guys, there's something, they just like scream summer to me. I don't know. Like it just gave summer. It was, what did you think?
Oh, I loved it. And I thought the like Bachelor premise was very like unique. Again, there's been other ones like that, but like unique, different. It wasn't just like I'm a cowboy on a ranch and I have to like do my cowboy things. Like he's not really in season, so there wasn't a lot of that, but it was basically like just like the antics behind the show and like the producers and the dates and stuff. Like, so I really liked that. And then it was great.
I loved it. I loved it so much. Now I can't wait for the next one. I just love all of her series. Oh, all right. What's your last one?
That's it. It was Fever Dream. So I
didn't even realize that. All right. Well, guys, I hope that gave y'all some ideas for summer. I really want to read that Jodi Picoult one now. And I haven't wanted to read one of her books in a while, but it's interesting that the only one I've read, this is like kind of a sequel to. So I feel like if I get approved, if not, remind me in September and then I'll read it.
Right.
Okay.
Fingers crossed.
Before we wrap up, I want to remind everyone that we really, really like reviews. We love the 5 stars, especially, but an honest review is good too. And if you leave us a really lovely review, we will read it on the podcast and then I will send you something really fun. So please go rate and review us. And if you don't do it through Apple or Spotify, you can also just send us a DM and give us kind words and we will read that. But Kailey, where can everyone find you?
I am on Instagram at KMC Reads.
And that's it, guys. That's the only place she is. And I am everywhere at Neelykins, except on TikTok where I'm Neely Moldovan. And you can find us everywhere with the podcast at Big Yap Energy. And now that it's summer, we'll try to be a little more active. Sorry, guys. We were surviving May. We did our best.
Yes.
But we have a lot of fun guests coming up and a lot of fun episodes. So we will talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.